Gail. Want to go for a ride?
Oh, I'm sorry, Clint. I can't. I'm having a party here tonight for the playcast.
I guess that lets me out.
Well, no, why don't you stay? I'm sure no one would mind.
No, I'll be running along. Maybe
Please
tomorrow
stay.
night.
Now you can't go. They're coming. Just step in here, Clint. Make yourself at home.
Hi, sis. Party started yet?
I thought you were going to your patrol meeting.
I just got back. You don't mind if I crash your party?
Oh, I guess not. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Gail. Brother Marshall drove by and picked us all up. Wasn't that something?
That was thoughtful of him. You all know Clint?
Hi.
How are you, Clint?
Fine, thank you. Gail, I'll be going. I won't stay for the party.
Why, Clint?
I don't go to Mutual, and I wouldn't
Oh,
want to.
that doesn't matter. I mean, it does. But it doesn't matter to them. Please, Clint, I want you to stay.
Well, all right.
Everybody, make yourself at home. This is a very informal party. There's Scrabble, checkers, chess for the brains, and our new stereo if you want to dance. Isn't it a beautiful cabinet?
Oh, it's fantabulous.
So just enjoy yourself. Load up on candy and nuts. Only save some room for refreshments later on.
Say, Brother Marshall, you want to lose the game of checkers?
Oh, so you think you're a match for me, huh, Butch?
I can beat anybody here with both eyes closed. Don't these badges prove it?
He's proud of those merit badges. Who wouldn't be at 14? When I was his age, I was an eager beaver, too. I wanted to be an Eagle Scout more than anything. But you know how we are at that age. 1 minute all fired up, the next ready to flip to something different. I needed a scout leader who was firm, able to give me the push I needed when I needed it. One who could discipline and channel all that nervous energy. Our first scout leader never showed up at half the meetings. Guess they weren't very important to him. It got so they weren't very important to us either. Our second scoutmaster wasn't much different. He came, but he let us know what a big effort he was making, how it was putting him out, and how grateful we ought to be because he came.
So you're beating me. Now what do I do?
Why don't you play a game with Carol?
Nah, I hate girls. They're creeps.
Oh, he doesn't need to play with me, Brother Marshall. I'm having fun all by myself, spelling out words.
Having fun. That's what you always say when you feel lonely and left out. I know how Carol feels. That age I was all arms and legs too, and worrying about my complexion. I wanted to be just like everybody else. Was I filled with anxieties and feeling inadequate? Here others were starting to develop. Walt was even shaving, and I was still a little runt with a soprano voice. I needed someone to tell me I was all right, someone to pat me on the back and notice me, make me feel that I was part of the group, not just something clinging on the fringe. I even hung around after the meetings trying to make small talk with some of the mutual officers, but they were awful busy or rushing to get home. They didn't have time to listen.
Fred,
Huh?
wake up.
You don't need to shout in my ear.
Come on, stop trying to impress everyone with your micro brain. Let's try out this music.
It's not here.
Come on. Don't pull this act on me. You know you're good and you're just dying to perform. Anyway, we need to practice for the festival.
Do I remember that mutual age? You start noticing the girls, only you try to play it cool like Rock Hudson, or indifferent like Bobby Darin. You don't want to let them know how you feel, that every guy's crazy over the same girl. Clothes get to mean an awful lot too, only you want them casual and careless so they don't take you for some kind of a cream puff. Still you want to be smooth, real smooth, able to take your time and really perform when that time comes. You know how the leaders coax. Come on everybody, let's get out on the floor and dance. We'll start it out with a grand march. That was usually my cue to beat it for the exit. I didn't know my left foot from my right. I tried to learn several times, but the dance directors were too busy grandstanding to care much if I caught on. Just watch us and you'll learn. That was the pitch they used. I watched till my eyes bugged out. Still I stumbled all over myself. So I stuck to basketball, hoping the girl I had a crush on would come to the games and see how good I was. Wouldn't you know it, she only saw me on my off nights.
Gail, it certainly is a fine party. You're to be congratulated. Why, everybody's having a wonderful time.
All except Clint. I wish he'd join in with the rest of us.
I've been trying not to notice him. I guess I've put a label on him, leader, and I don't want to look up to him just to be let down. But I must admit, the group thinks he's swell. I felt that the minute he came in. He reminds me of somebody, only I can't think who. It's like a dream you can't recall the next morning. Only sometime during the day, when you're not trying so hard to remember, you do. Yes, our explorer leader, Brother Meyer. We called him Sam. That's what he wanted us to call him. And he was the greatest, real hero stuff. He taught us what it meant to be an explorer. Let's get to know the things close around us first, he'd say. So we took in places like the Capitol, even saw the legislature in session. And he arranged for us to go around to places where we might work someday. Won't be long before you're thinking of a vocation. A man's work comes to be one of the most important things in his life. And now's the time to get a little perspective. And when we'd hit the trail, nobody could keep up with Sam. I'll never forget those pack trips when we left civilization way behind. Boy, it sure made your heart swell to see the wilderness the way it used to be. And those stories Sam told at nights around the bonfire. He could sure stretch a yarn. And show you how to build a fire, too, with pitchy wood. And sparks flying up into the pines, and the blue-black sky crazy with stars. Boy, it sure looked big. And right at that moment, Sam knew. He'd say something like, "Take a good look. This is a part of eternity, too, and it won't come again. Hold it close and pray always your heart will be as full as it is now." We weren't ever going to break up like other groups. Sam would hold us together, all of us. We had the greatest explorer group going. But they don't keep leaders like that long in Mutual. The oil company transferred Sam to Oklahoma, and we had a new explorer leader. He was glued to his manual, all wrapped up in himself. He treated us like infants. Wasn't long before we were dropping out.
Clint, would you like to come in the kitchen and help me with the refreshments?
All right.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
There must be something.
No, I just don't fit in with the group.
Why do you say that?
Most guys 18 don't go to Mutual.
That's not exactly true.
Well, the ones I went around with are either in the mission field or going in the service.
You're making excuses.
I suppose I am.
Don't you like Mutual?
Oh, yeah, I like Mutual. I think it does a lot of good for some, like in there.
But it doesn't do anything for you. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it, Clint? Tell me, why?
Well, let's not discuss it right now.
Yes, now, I'd really like to know.
Well, you'll only get angry when I tell you what I think.
No, I won't.
All right, I don't think Mutual is very vital.
You mean we don't need the Mutual program in our church?
No, that isn't what I said. There's nothing wrong with the program. It's something else.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's our leaders in Mutual, Gail, or at least some that I've had. How can it be vital when they're not vitally concerned? When they don't even begin to realize what it means to us, or they don't think it's important to come regularly, or they come late, or they don't take time to prepare lessons, or they don't even try to get to know us. Remember your first night in Mutual, Gail, how excited you were to be finally going to Mutual after all those years in primary? Wasn't that a wonderful night? The program, the leaders, everything. But what happened after that first night in Mutual? Why was so much promised and so little delivered? Did I expect too much from Mutual? Did I, Gail?
No, Clint, you didn't.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound off like that. I didn't know you were here.
I come in just at the right moment. I've been very interested in what you've been saying. And I'm wondering if all of us have let you down. Wasn't there one leader, just one leader, that stood out among the others?
Yes, Brother Marshall, there was one. Sam Meyer, our Explorer leader. I really thought he was great.
Well, why was he great?
Well, because he loved us. He was part of us. He knew our needs and gave us what we wanted and needed. He saw through our eyes and our hearts. He believed in us and made us feel good about ourselves. He laughed and joked, but he was serious and he got after us sometimes. And when he made mistakes, he admitted them. He wasn't preachy, advising us and boring us to death and losing us. He was leading us. Don't you see the difference?
Yes, Clint, I do see the difference. Would you mind coming to our next leadership meeting and tell us everything that you've said here this evening?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, make them think that I was just criticizing.
Well, then tell us about Sam. We need your ideas. We need your leadership.
All right.